Welcome back to another episode, the last episode of Sweet Life Los Angeles. Of course, y'all know I have my boyfriend here. And
I'm helping her finish off the season of Sweet Life Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's here for that. So let's get right into it because we got a lot to get to. Starting off this episode, we get into Cheryl is basically having a photo shoot for her. You know, her clothing line, her fashion line that she has, and she invited all the girls to be in a photo shoot with her.
Cool.
Now, mind you, all of this is after the whole fiasco went down with Jaylenn, Jordan at Jerrold's podcast. Now, mind y'all, Cheryl is Jerrold's boyfriend, so he is there being a creative director for her photo shoot.
Girlfriend.
Oh, I said boyfriend? Girlfriend. Thank you, baby. That's why I got you here. And basically, Ty like, well, you know, everything that Jaylen told me is still heavy on my heart, and this was Jerrold's event or Jerrold's podcast, so I need to have a conversation with him, because at the end of the day, that's my boyfriend, that's my friend. I should be able to have a conversation with him, right? Yeah. So she pulled him to the side. It was probably getting towards the ending of the photo shoot.
Because he had just been asking, like, hey, are we done? Are we done?
Right.
Is everything done?
Is everything done? So she
clearly it was at the end.
Right. So she decided to put him to the side so they can have a conversation about what went down at the podcast. So Ty basically told Jerrold that she felt like he should have stepped in because this was his podcast. He should have been the mediator of everything that went down and calmed everything down. And Jerrold felt like, well, this ain't his business. That was between them two. He didn't have to step in.
Which was wrong as hell. Like, bro, it's your podcast. You brought everybody in that room.
You brought everybody there.
So anything that happens, you're responsible for it. Like, you need to be the one to say, hey, y'all boys, chill out.
And once again, as a podcaster, as a host, as a moderator, all of these things, you are supposed to be able to control the environment that you have created. Period. He couldn't do that, so he felt like he shouldn't have stepped in.
It's because he got his chain.
He got that hype land chain.
That chain, like, man, I can't, man. Jordan got it. Which is so lame, but...
It's so lame and so childish. Like, y'all gotta grow some balls and man up what they do. So Tylynn was like, okay, well, if you felt like you ain't had nothing to do with it, well, since it's your event and I'm here now, I'm telling you that my man, my boyfriend, felt, uncomfortable. He felt alone. Did you reach out to him? He said, no. Why? For what? Like, they ain't had nothing to do with me. I don't need to reach out to him. So my thing on the situation is that Jerrold, yeah, it was not you who was going back and forth. Yeah, it's not you that was arguing. But again, this was something that you put together. So you should have been man enough to contact both parties that was in the altercation and make sure everybody was all right. Because if this happened again and you want everybody to come together, like, it's clearly still going to be some hostility because you was not able to control it and you wasn't able to communicate with everybody and see what would happen, where were they leading, where was it going. You didn't do none of that. You just let everything linger, and that's because you felt like, well, you're friends with Jordan, so Jordan was right. That's how it's coming off. You never said one time if you felt Jordan was wrong or Jaylen was wrong, like, nothing. You want to play the middleman, but you're being a terrible middleman.
Facts.
Because you're not doing anything.
You're leaning more on one side.
Right. What more you got to say, babe?
It's just, I feel like Tylynn got to choose better timing with her conversations for one. But then again...
Oh, so you think that Tylynn shouldn't did that at the photo shoot?
Nah, she could have waited. Because she was just saying that somebody did something at her event. That could have been waited, like...
It's so funny that you said that because Cheryl said the same thing. Jerrold's girlfriend, who photo shoot it was, she felt not so much disrespected, but I guess disrespected is a good word. But she felt like Ty was wrong for having that conversation at the photo shoot. Once again, I have to disagree with you. I don't think it was because Tylynn didn't cause a scene, Jerrold didn't cause a scene. Like we say, everything was everything was technically supposed to be wrapping up. I didn't feel like it was a problem of them having the conversation at that moment because at the end of the day, like, they are literally in a corner. Nobody can see them. Nobody can hear them. None of that. So they wasn't being disruptive. Granted, he was the creative director, so he could have been needed. But if he was needed,
came over for him.
Nobody came over there for him. Nobody said his name like Jerrold, we need you or anything like that. And granted, maybe as a creative director, nobody you should be on alert. But if they wrapping things up, I'm not thinking he could have told Tylynn. I personally feel like if he felt like this was the wrong time, he should have said, "Hey Ty, let's talk about this another time. This is my girl's shoot.
Yeah,
we'll handle this another time." If you truly felt that way,
director as more his boyfriend. Gotcha.
If you truly felt that way, but he did not. So he had the conversation, and then that's when Cheryl came over and Cheryl said her piece. Cheryl, we didn't even ask you. It wasn't even a big deal. You came over there being nosy. That's what happened. She came over there being nosy, see what her boyfriend got going on, instead of focusing on everything in her business. If she claimed it was more going on. And that's when everything started up and more problems.
The ball started rolling from there.
Started rolling. So moving on within the episode, we get into Jordan and his mom. Basically having a conversation. Like, he brought what happened at the podcast up to his mom to let her know, like, oh, I got into an altercation with Jaylenn, and this basically what went down.
The mama was dropping some key notes, though.
The mom, every time the mama is on screen, she drops notes, man. She drops gems. Every time, like, she be keeping it real, and that's what I can respect about his mom. Like, she always keep it real every time she on screen. And she gonna tell him the real. And he don't got no choice but to listen. But it's like, at the end of the day, is he even listening? Because he do the opposite of everything she say.
Some of that stuff was just like common sense. Like, and all you had to do was listen to what Jaylenn was saying at the podcast. And you wouldn't even have to talk to your mom about this, because they basically said the same thing.
They definitely said the same thing. So when he had the conversation with his mama, he told her everything that happened. And the first thing the mom said was, oh, well, what's up with you and this cat? Like, what's up with you and Jade? Because this is not the first time.
Super beef going on, like,
right? And they really don't.
I'm pretty sure if it was really a beef, I don't think we'll ever get to that point. But yeah, boy, Jordan, he loses his beef at all.
He not about that. Yeah, Jordan all talk, and that's really it. Jordan think he got money, so his money is a defense mechanism, and it's not. If somebody wanted to punch him in his lips, he would get punched in his lips, and that's just a fact. But not turning the conversation into that. So Jaylenn and Jordan don't have no real beef. No. We know this. It's just the situations that be happening. Jaylenn, the first one, Jaylenn name happened because Ty was running her mouth when I personally think she shouldn't have, because that was a pillow talking situation. And now this is because Jaylenn said what he had to say, and he was right. Yeah. He told her about what Jaylenn said about him being privileged, and that his mother is the reason he is in the place that he is now. So he felt disrespected. So his mom was like, well, why you feel disrespected?
Because it's true. And at a certain point in the conversation, she was like, well, you do have, both of y'all did grind in a certain aspect, but you are above because you started with something. And that something was me and my people having some money to push you up there.
Yeah, the only reason, the mom was like, one, you kind of shouldn't feel disrespected, because at the end of the day, Jaylenn is right. You had support. You had a strong foundation. Your mother made sacrifices for you that you can be in this privileged state. Technically, you didn't work hard in the aspect of what Jaylenn was saying. No, you didn't. And that don't take away from the fact that you did what you had to do to get to, help out with the business. But yeah, you were privileged, and his mama told him, and his mama was straight up. So all of a sudden, he want to have a talk with Jaylenn. Okay, you want to have a talk with Jaylenn? Let's have a talk. What you feel about them having a talk, babe? Like, so now we getting into them having a conversation. Let me hear your thoughts.
Before aspect, or like,
I want to hear your thoughts
of their conversation.
So we are now at the time where they are having a conversation. I want to know, what do you feel about the conversation that they had? So basically, we know the conversation is going to be about him. Both of them are going to apologize, because Jayden don't have to, but since we here, I apologize. I feel like that's Jayden's stance on it. But Jordan apologized because he was wrong. His mama told him he was wrong. You wrong. Period. We knew you was wrong, but since you want to listen to your mama, you was wrong. She said it. Everybody else said it. You gotta apologize. Right. So what you felt about the conversation?
I feel like the conversation was needed. Granted, towards the end, I don't think he should, like, the thing about his dad and all that stuff, I don't think that had to be added on. It was a great face filler, I guess, for the episode. But I don't see where that was pertaining to their conversation. I feel like I get that they bring it back, men's mental health and all that stuff. Cool, but I don't think that had nothing to do with the conversation at hand that needed to be had. And I'm glad that he got it squashed out or whatever. But that aspect is like, okay, cool. I mean, they got to know each other a little better. And I guess that made them cooler or whatever, but unnecessary in my eyes. Good conversation though, but bro pulled up on some shit like I'm still mad about it a little bit, which he should be. Like, he did feel tried. He said he felt tried, which I understand. But I don't feel no type of way about the conversation. Like, I don't think it was nothing more to it than that.
Yeah, I think, honestly, because they are guys, they got kind of straight to the point. And it's not, like I said, it's not the first time they had the conversation where they had to squash some type of animosity towards each other. And this is like the second time it kind of happened. Like, they kind of squashed it quick, fast, in a hurry. And granted, they did try to go in a little bit more in depth on why, Jordan felt the type of way he felt, because privilege is his trigger word.
Yeah, but we clearly see that privilege was his trigger word. And he said that in his conversation with his mom. But, bro, you was around, like, that's just part of growing up. You around other people, like, you 26 or however old he is. You should know privilege is your trigger word. And you should be able to say, hey, man, maybe we should use another word. Like, I don't feel like I'm privileged because of this. And then it goes back into him. He should have been more understanding and listening in the first conversation. It all goes back to him not being able to listen because he heard the word privilege and not understand where everybody's coming from with it.
Also communicate. He don't know how to listen nor communicate his feelings.
Listening is communication too. So
yeah, but you're talking about hearing. I'm talking about like verbalizing his feelings. Like, it's just he just gets so emotional and so much in an uproar. But like you said, I'm glad they was able to squash it. And I also agree with you. Like, Jordan is the type of person that like to keep talking to either. When he talks, I feel like he either is trying to make somebody feel, hurt about things he went through, just to make it more about him, or he just trying to prove something. And this is one of them instances he wasn't trying to prove something. He was just trying to make Jaylen feel like, oh, well, I'm this way because I don't like privilege, but I'm also this way because the situation with my dad. But it's like, okay, but I mean, if he wanted to let him know that, for them to get closer, by all means.
Yeah.
Now that Jordan and Jaylen have squashed their beef, let's get into the actual event. Griff's event, the artist, PJ's artist. Everything got exposed. Everything was said. Everything got brought up at this event. But let's start with minor mediocre drama, which was Rob and Rebecca, came up, and Cheryl, Jerrold, Kofi, and Jordan is all sitting down, and they, just talking, and they come up and they all start talking about the podcast situation again. Anyways, you wanted to bring up about how in a confessional, Jordan, when Rebecca came up, Jordan was like, didn't PJ drop you off in the lake of vote somewhere?
All right, so first of all, why you bringing that up, Mr. Jordan? Why is you bringing that up? Well, what the fuck they got to do with anything? And clearly, you still have no host. You got Jade. Paul, she's not a whore. Don't be mean about it. But you still ain't got no chick, like no woman around you besides Jade, and that's that. She's not even around you. She's just like, y'all just not talking, like y'all having casual conversations still. So, bro, don't be talking about some why she here and all that stuff. Like, she's still in the front group. Like, let's not do that. He be tripping like on some weird shit.
I'm telling you, babe, it's because he the one who got the most money out of the group, so he think he the big bad boss, but he ain't really nothing, honestly. He know who to do that with and who to do that around, because if he was to come down where we was at, baby, he'll be humble. Like, he would be considered a joke.
Yeah, what you talking about? Dude?
Like, he's a joke, and I don't understand how anybody take him seriously beyond him having a business that his mama run. But he is technically a joke. And he would get treated as one.
Like, bro, you tripping.
Everybody around him, like Ty say, they don't hold him accountable. And
I just ain't get it. Like,
but that was fun.
It
was funny how you reacted to see him say that, because that it had nothing to do with nothing. Like, of course she gonna come around. Like, why wouldn't she?
Exactly.
PJ better be happy anybody showing up. We don't even know who Griff is.
Nobody know who Griff is. We just popping up because everybody else do. So for you to talk about like, you need to mind your business while I'm here. You enjoy the time. Like, you enjoy the drinks and be quiet like everybody else doing.
Okay, so while all them was talking,
yeah, they went on to talk about this podcast thing, and Cheryl putting her 2 cents on it, and talking about some. As they having a conversation, she feels like her and her man is not a topic of conversation, or her, basically
they
her
exempt.
Man,
they should be exempt.
Her what's his name?
Jerrold
should be exempt from the conversation. Like, no, a lot of this is on Jerrold's fault. Like, the whole him not stopping it and being in control of the conversation, that's on him. Like, he needs to be held accountable for that. So for them to be talking about for her to be talking about some, I don't see why we a part of this. You're not, man. You could have sat there and been quiet. Nobody was speaking to you personally. Like, nobody brought you into this. Cut it out. And then Jerrold, he need to take accountability. Like, that's the main thing with him. He don't take accountability. He's failing to realize that he is a problem in this conversation. Like, yes, they squashed it, and yes, Tylynn is still mad. Like, y'all could have handled that better. That's her main premises. She's on more some principle shit. But for you to keep admitting that you had a part in it, you're the cause of the problem now, and that's why shit ain't gonna fly right.
I agree with everything you said. My thing is, Cheryl right now is coming to the defense of Jerrold.
But Jerrold,
she's coming to the defense of Jerrold, right?
Okay, cool.
But Cheryl's whole thing is that she feel like Ty shouldn't be in this situation because she wasn't there, but Ty's taking up for Jaylenn, just how Cheryl is now taking up for Jerrold.
Yeah.
So it's very hypocritical. Cheryl's being hypocritical about the situation because she feel like, well, I could take up for Jerrold, but I also don't need Jerrold to take up for me. But you still taking up for Jerrold though.
But and then they tried to explain to her, hey, if you were in those shoes.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
So go ahead. If she was in those shoes, Jerrold would do the same thing.
No. That's the opposite of what they said. Cheryl said that if she was in a situation that she don't need Jerrold to take up for her, and Jerrold don't need her to take up for him. Yet that is exactly what they're doing on TV in front of us. So clearly they like to say one thing, but they do the total opposite of what they do. And if you take up for your man, that's fine. If you take up for your man, that's fine because that's how you move. But don't try to downplay Tylynn for doing it.
And Tylynn not in the wrong, like,
yeah, and
she's not, like,
and they feel like just because Ty wasn't there, like, she shouldn't be a part. But at the end of the day, Ty is technically the middle man because that's her man, that's her friend, and she trying to figure out what comes to some better conclusion. Exactly. So because all this is going on and all this is being said, Rebecca decides to run off to Ty and tell her everything that's going on.
Being said, like,
yeah, but
you being messy.
She
like,
being messy, but also that's her friend.
Yeah.
It's like when some people, your friend is messy, but it's also like, that's my friend. So yeah, I'm gonna tell my friend, I don't care, y'all talk about her. Mm-hmm. And that's how I know for a fact in this show that Jerrold brought in all the guys and Ty brought in all the girls, and they created this group and they doing all this stuff together. Because it's no way how they acting. It don't seem like Ty is cool with the guys like that. It don't seem like the girls is cool with the guys like that, or the guys cool with the girls. Like, I don't see none of that. It all just seems so random once we really get to the root or the problems really start showing. And then you see what a divide is at. And that's because girls Ty, boys Jerrold. You see it. Even though Jerrold literally have no relevant... He has been so burned on this show. We have seen Rebecca more than we have seen him. And if that's the case, she need to be a more character. We have seen Jaylenn more than we have seen Jerrold. And Jerrold's the main character and Jaylenn isn't. That just shows how boring he is. But his relevance is he probably brought them into group. But while Rebecca is telling Ty all that, who comes in, babe? Who comes into the party?
My good sister Bree.
Yeah.
We come in with a new man.
What for Terry?
Terry. Oh. See, this is the part where I get pissed off.
Why you get pissed off?
Why they try my man's like that?
I don't know.
So he walk up.
Yeah.
He introduced himself to Cheryl.
With his Alexander McQueen, she come in with her Burberry, so they had made notice of that being messy.
They're making jokes like, ooh, yeah, they're making all the jokes and shit.
His name, trying to talk about his name and all.
So they go to talk about something. He what's up, my name's Cheryl and all that. What's going on? What's good, bro? Boys want some potato and some other shit. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. But Cheryl should have, since then he was getting disrespected, he should have started disrespecting everybody. And just started calling them boys out. Like, what is you, a fake Drake? Like, I would have ran down through them boys in the line. Like, oh, we making jokes now. What y'all got going on? Like, y'all making jokes now. Oh, we can ha kiki right now. Like, let's do it. Because y'all boys really wilding. Like, they over there, like, the name Pateria is simple. They all acting up and stuff. Then the girls just being, like, then they started just asking all these questions and being messy. Like, hey, man, hey, chill out. Like, that's all. Ooh, that's all he had to say was like, hey, chill out. Like, cause y'all doing too much. Like, I ain't the one. But he did handle it better. Like, I guess I would be wrong if I handled it like that. But
I think you will handle it way better than what you saying though.
Man, like I
But then again, I don't know, cause stuff like that piss me off too. Like,
I ain't
finna.
I ain't doing that.
I'm about to overtalk you.
No, you good, but I ain't getting in no situation like that. Like, first I'm gonna feel it before anything happens. Like, I ain't gonna lie, don't even start that. Don't do that to yourself. That's just, I'm gonna know it's like, hey, don't do it.
I'm the type of person, like, I immediately, like, I can't hold stuff in. Like, I immediately have to call it out. So if they would have said something like that to me, I'd be like, oh, you trying to be funny? And then see where it go from there.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to be funny, okay, we gonna be doing jokes all night.
Oh, we gonna go there. We gonna get real acquainted real quick, like.
And I don't know how. And that's all I'm just gonna say. Like, I don't know how to joke, so I take it too far. Like,
you gonna hate me after this? We gonna be good friends. Like, all right, you can hang.
Yeah, like, no, like, stop trying to be funny. Y'all just meeting me. Like, have some type of respect.
Yeah, like, who raised y'all to just jump off like people like on some disrespectful shit? Like.
And then my girl Bree, always being Bree, so easily impressed. Oh, he was handling himself good. He was. So I'm gonna let her say that he was handling himself way better than, like Brandon said, he would have handled it.
And that, like, it's time, place for everything. They should have, they could have chilled out on it. They could have chilled out on it. Like, maybe like on some other somebody else's event, like more like just a dinner or something. I can see that, cool, whatever. Like,
no, honestly,
not even then, but we can have that talk then.
They didn't even need to do none of it at no time, no place. Right, like, it was not needed.
I'm saying that, but at the same time, like, we can do that then. Like,
it just come off as they all have some type of feelings about Bree, as if they was the ones dating Bree when it really was Jordan. But everybody else, doing what Jordan probably should be doing. Like, when they,
like, and then if it was just one person, like, it was just Jordan, like, oh, that's the one you, okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't even him by himself.
All right, what's good?
But he wasn't by himself doing it.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, because doing this, Bree said, and they said throughout the episode, they always bring up how they call themselves the Wood. What you think about that being a clique name? Like,
that ain't no. hey, and I've been meaning to say this. That ain't no. That shit too smooth for them. Like, they need another name. Like, they could have come up with, like, what is this? The hype or something? The hype land. I really would have went with that, and they not
the
that.
Land.
They not that, but the Wood. No. Amanda was worried about the wrong things when it came to Patiri and asking him questions like, your man is raw. You worry about him. Like, it would be certain stuff with conversations and couples and friends, and I think people just don't understand. Like, they need to be having their own boundaries set. Like, not even boundaries set, but just, like, be respectful. Like, because you don't know what position you put your spouse in or whoever you with in if somebody say something outlandish back to you. So stay in your place and just vibe.
What? Amanda ain't saying nothing outlandish.
She told me
She just asking questions.
She ain't have to ask some questions.
But that's she's asking.
She shouldn't be worried about who he is. She should be worried about, hey, if my friend happy, then we good. Okay, cool, whatever.
Okay, but if you know your friend, you just gonna react differently. Everybody act differently. If my friend with some new guy she bringing up, and I know how me and my friend is, I'm gonna ask questions. What's the problem? See, babe, you don't like that type of stuff. That don't mean I can't do it.
We talking about my opinion. We ain't talking about. I'm just saying, like, my thoughts on it. So
moving along.
Yeah, moving along. But yeah, I just don't feel like that was, And Bree was nervous. She's talking about something. I'm nervous because Jordan, like.
Oh yeah, so Bree said that she was nervous about bringing Pateri around the wood. They call themselves the wood. Because technically she was saying she was nervous because of Jordan. Girl, who cares about Jordan? You got this fine, handsome, tall boy with you and you worry about short Jordan? Girl.
But, and I'm like, why are you
concerned about him? He's irrelevant. And that's what I've been saying this whole time. Bree trying to act like she's so bossed up and she's this girl. Yeah, every time it comes to Jordan, both of them, but we're talking about Bree right now, so we're going to get on her case because we always get on Jordan case. Mm-hmm. Now we got to get on Bree case. She does this continuously. Like, she act like she bossed up and she over Jordan, yet be all up on him. Again, like, girl.
Like, she has a lot of irrelevancy besides her having dates and different people, dating different people. I don't see her point in it. Like, granted, everybody really doesn't have a point.
As inconsistent as she's entertaining. Low key, without Bree, the show she adds
her dating aspect.
Flair.
Yeah, her dating aspect and her having
all these dramas and problems. She adds the flair to the show. She does.
Okay,
I give her that.
Okay, so now we go on to my boy PJ and the performance.
Oh God!
So from what I remember, PJ was the manager, right?
You're absolutely correct. He's the artist manager. That's his whole stance on everything.
Okay, so PJ, why are you on the ride with Griff, on stage with Griff, damn near acting like you finna perform? If I wouldn't have known, I would have thought you had a verse on this shit. Like you was finna perform too. Like, but bro, what are you doing? Like, I'm not getting manager. I'm getting hype man.
Very hype man. Very hype man.
I'm getting hype man. I'm getting like you might have had a verse on the back end of this shit we don't know about.
Yeah.
And my guy, drop that shit. Unless there's some legalities going on, you should have been singing too. The way you was acting.
And this is my thing, right? As an artist manager, if you really like trying to get your artist off the ground, how PJ claim he is. Mm-hmm. Me personally, if I was an artist manager, like I wouldn't be on the set. Once I make sure everything is good with him and he's straight and it's time for him to perform, he'll be on the stage performing and all these labels and Snapchat this and Instagram that, Amazon Music that. I would be over there with them, making sure they nodding their head, just scoping out to see how they feel about the music. Not on the stage, hyped up with my artist.
He told me something. I feel like they was cheering on for me. Well, yeah, because you on stage. And they thinking, shit, PJ might be on some shit right now. Like, damn, PJ, you finna bop or some shit? Like, what you finna...
Exactly, but...
Let us know.
It's... boy, please.
Like, you just, man, like,
I understand.
I feel like he should have just took a step back and let his guy do his thing. Because, granted, my boy, like, they was showing my boy doing a little Cali dance. Like, hey, he was up there turning himself. I don't think he needed it.
He needed
PJ needed that for confidence or something like.
No, PJ, you can tell PJ likes attention. He don't get it.
He begging for it. He fiending for it.
He's fiending for it because he had no business. As a manager, he had no business on that stage.
Man, I ain't never seen that one. Like, granted, I mean,
if you're really trying to be a boss up manager like a P or a coach from QC or like what's his name, Birdman and them be for Cash Money and them, all these different people or TDE and all them.
You're not Gucci Man, sir.
If you're trying to be boost up like them, then you sit your ass back and you make sure you go get that money and go get that exposure for your client. You won't be on the stage with your client.
Unless it's your celebration, but then again, PJ, it's not.
It's not about you. Griff name and posters was everywhere, not PJ and Griff. No. But moving on.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got that pastor. He off stage. He's saying, "Hey to everybody. Thank y'all for coming out, introducing Griff to everybody."
Oh, right.
Okay, cool. People from different places there. Good. A couple minutes later, we got Jade walking through. Now,
I forgot all about Jade's existence.
Yeah, because she's not a main character. She's like,
I forgot about her existence.
And granted, maybe my boy Jordan texted her and was like, "Hey, you gotta come through."
Yeah. And
he wanted to act like she was surprised she wasn't there and shit like.
Because she came too late. Like she came after the performance.
Which was like.
Granted, I understand people be late, but Griff could stay home.
She got her own things going on, like they said. So she wouldn't know. She's not on nobody's time frame. Like she's just doing her.
Yeah, she on her.
But she's on their time frame because she coming to the scene. So, okay.
So, yeah, but let me just say, to feed off what you said, I think that because Bree brought Pateri. Jordan probably did, right here on the slide, like, hey, you want to come through to this event my dog having, just so she can low-key show him all. He probably would have said, too, you're going to be on camera, just so to make her get there quicker.
Yeah. Had to be. Okay, so when Jade gets there, just the introduction of her to everybody, he blew me like, hi guys, this my girl, this my girl Jade. She's out there. Like, let her tell everybody her name, and then let her introduce, or
just greet everybody.
Yeah, greet everybody, and then like when they gonna ask what she's doing. You ain't gotta say she's out there.
Like you in school, like presenting a project. Like, this is my project, Jade.
Like, bro, vibe. Like,
He don't have no vibe because he's so lame that he ain't used to this. Like, he ain't used to a Jade.
Man, I don't even think he's just like he wanted them try, just like how what's name try to like make him jealous. Like, he done that just to make what's name jealous.
Yeah,
like, that's not, that shit so lame.
Well, I'm confused why he trying to make Bree jealous if he don't.
If they don't so care about each other, like, what is the point of this? Like, what are y'all doing?
So childish.
So, she pulled up and they was talking or whatever. Then it just goes into Rebecca. Relax. Why you asking this girl these questions? Like, what interests you in? No, she asked Jordan first what interests him in a Jade, and he halfway drunk at this point, so he just rambling. He already a talkative motherfucker. He just rambling at this point. He just, oh well, I'm like, oh my God, here you go. Oh well, this is what I like about you. Like, bro, this is a conversation they supposed to be having, not you supposed to be bringing this up. Like, bro, find something else better to talk about. Like, hey, where'd y'all meet or something like that? Like, cool, that'll be cool, but all that other stuff, no. Just like, I feel like it was just a bum filler. Like, ugh.
I don't think it was a filler. I think they knew exactly what they was doing.
Yeah, they was being petty.
Yeah, Rebecca was being very messy and very petty, but I'm glad she did do it because she brought up something that. Okay, so we all know the drama started with Bree and Jordan because he kept saying that she ain't got shit going on for herself, and he basically just proved that in his talk that Jade, he's talking about Jade to the whole circle, and he basically everything he said was discredited in his own way, discrediting everything Brianna got going on. And as much as he tried to disown it and unclaim it or whatever you want to say, I don't know if I'm using the correct terms, but he meant what he said about Bree basically being a bum backstage bitch.
Damn. I don't think he said all that.
No. He didn't say that, but him and Bree had a conversation, and Bree told him, "You treat me like a backstage bitch."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm using the words, and she was right. That's exactly what he's treating her like, and that's exactly what he's doing. And it's just coming up into foreplay again. I just said foreplay. It's coming up again in this conversation that they having with Jade.
Okay. So, like, but yes, Jordan was definitely forcing it. Jade, she just over like, okay, whatever. She ain't really stressing like that.
Yeah, she catch her. She there for her camera time.
Yeah, and then it's just like Rebecca, relax, like.
Yeah, Rebecca do too much, but Rebecca, one thing about it, I don't know if Rebecca getting paid. We know she ain't no main cast member. And I don't know if she getting paid, and as much as I do not like Rebecca, she gets the job done every time. She get it done. And I don't like her, but she gonna get it done. As far as content goes and moments, Rebecca gonna get it done for us.
Yeah. Okay. So we going to Bree. Loki got mad. Bree got mad at the fact that she was there, and like she was Loki like not the bum
bothered.
Yeah, she was bothered.
She was bothered.
She was bothered at that point.
She wasn't bothered about Jade being there. She was bothered about what Jordan was saying about Jade, and he just met her. Like, you just met her.
Like, so you really don't know all about her. Like,
exactly. So you just saying this to tick Bree off. He did all that to tick her off. Definitely.
That tit for tat shit's not cool. But whatever. Okay. So now we going to Rebecca drinking even more. So she's hyping herself up at this point. Like, I can't even remember. I think when she was talking to Amanda, but she with Amanda, they had like, man, like, you finna go talk to her now, like, talk to him now type shit. She like, yeah.
Oh, about PJ.
Yeah. So she like, yeah, like, take a shot, another shot. She took half of that motherfucker and slid. Like, I'm ready to go now, ready to fight the world type shit. Get out there with PJ. I need to talk to everybody else. Like, oh, here it go.
Even Kofi
like,
honestly, That's how Rebecca is. You can tell from the first episode, the second episode, the Palm Springs episodes. Rebecca is a teed up person. That's why everybody was
off that drink though.
No. What?
I'm telling you, you gotta watch it.
It can be off the drink because the Palm Springs she was drinking, but
every time she got a little drink in her system. I'm sorry to cut you off. Every time she got a little drink in her system, she be teed.
She was definitely teed up in Palm Springs, and now she teed up now again. It may be the drink, but but I'm trying to say that's her personality.
Okay,
she got it in her, but she's very scary. Let's be clear. You can tell she's scary, but she real raw. But go ahead, girl. Go on.
All right, so we're gonna get to why she's unpurposely raw. So she had the conversation with PJ, like she finally saying like, I ain't like how you did me with PJ on some shit. Like he's silly because he ain't know what she want to talk about. Like, oh, Mexico. Well, no, duh. We ain't talk. Yeah, like we ain't talked all the time. From what we know. So of course, dude. So for him to act silly like that was just pointless to me. And I'm like, okay, guy, but I think she did all that and still didn't get her point across. From my viewpoint, she did all that talking and sat him down and all that and still didn't get her point across. Other than that, she didn't like it, the fact that he did it. I think she still liked him.
That's the thing, babe. She always liked him. He never liked her.
And
she was always pressed about him. He never was pressed about her.
At the same time, I'm like, if y'all was just talking, why y'all boosting all this up? Like, make it seem like y'all just... It was just so much.
Like, they was in a relationship.
Like, y'all was not dating.
This was literally, honestly, if we being honest, nothing. Because like I'm saying, that wasn't even dating. They was just... I don't know what they was.
So what would y'all like? It was in the talking stage.
Write in the comments and y'all let us know what y'all think.
What stage was they in?
Yeah, it had to be the talking, trying to
figure it out stage.
Figure it out stage. I guess.
But I'm like,
but he never respected her, so I don't even know why she took it there with him. But that's her own problem. That's her own fault. I feel like Rebecca put herself in that situation because PJ showed who he was from Palm Springs. You ain't want to believe him. Now you're in this predicament that you're in now, and I can't feel bad for her. Mm-hmm. I refuse to.
She was so drunk and flustered at that moment. She left her purse out there.
Wait, but before you even say that, doing that coke, you want to issue push show.
What he told me, hey, reason why you was saying hey, because she was trying to push him. Like, I'm getting this area. Like, you don't walk before me. Like, that's childish.
She was mad. She was
pulled some childish shit right
because she was doing all that. Cheryl and Jerrold don't care for them during this time.
They sitting there ear hustling.
Yeah, they listening in on the conversation. Granted, it wasn't a little loud, eavesdropping. And during that conversation, at one point, Jerrold was like, she's showing out for TV. My thing is, this is why I say they so hypocritical, because this is not the first time Rebecca has went off like that. She did the same thing, and I gotta keep bringing it up. Palm Springs, her actions was the same exact way. She was loud, she was raw, she was cussing Miami out. At one point, she caught herself trying to cuss PJ out, but that ain't even fall through. But this is the action she's been showing. But in Palm Springs, y'all did not say, "Oh, she was showing out for the TV." Nobody tried to stop her. Like nobody did none of that. But now all of a sudden, this energy is towards PJ, y'all friend. Oh, she's showing out for TV.
And y'all just wasn't so friendly buddy with PJ anyway.
There was. The girls wasn't. The boys, no.
Cheryl?
But not... Well, yeah, Cheryl. Because remember what Cheryl said. That's why I'm hanging out with you boys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hanging around y'all boys. Girl.
Okay, so we get past that. Now they coming inside after the event. And Tylynn wants to have a toast.
Cheers.
That toast was one of the shadiest things they did on the show.
Shady Ty.
She was shady for that. Like,
Ty knew she was doing. Ty knew what she was saying.
Of course she knew what she was doing, but
Ty was basically saying in her speech that cheers to everybody who's going to hold themselves accountable and their friends accountable. And if you're not going to hold anybody accountable or yourself accountable, don't drink. Basically, don't take a shot. So, of course, we all know she's talking to Jerrold. I mean, everybody else too, but mainly Jerrold. So Jerrold was like, hey Ty, let me step to the side when we let's have a conversation. Come holler at me real quick. The solo dolo.
No,
I don't want to talk about it. We had a chance to talk about it at the photo shoot. You didn't want to talk. You said what you had to say. I don't want to talk about it. That's what she meant to say. She didn't say all that, but that's what she meant to say. She just was like, no. they started having a conversation in front of everybody. So once that happened, everybody gotta have their 2 cents. Everybody gotta say what they want to say. Everybody gotta, cause it's in front of everybody now.
And it's the fact. One main person I go back to is Cheryl during this conversation. Like, you have no relevancy to nothing. You literally could have kept yourself out of it and just been vibing. Like, I'm gonna go outside. Like, hey babe, you got this. I'm gonna go ahead and step outside.
That's what she said in the beginning. If it was Jerrold problem, she ain't gonna be. She said it. She said it. Only for her not to do it.
This group of people is so hypocritical. It's crazy. Like,
it's so crazy.
Y'all ass really wilding right now. Like,
my thing is, so they have the conversation. They talk about it. They talk it out, and once everybody said it 2 cents. Everybody trying to break it down.
You got people like Jordan jumping into it, irrelevant,
and Bree irrelevant, making they self relevant.
Like, why y'all talking? Like, y'all literally.
Then the main ones need to go outside. So at one point, Cheryl brought up how the conversation shouldn't have been had at her photo shoot. And if she felt that way, that's fine, because that was her thing. That was her event. She paid her money. So Ty said, I apologize if you felt some type of way about it. I apologize. I'm sorry. And then so Ty was like, so is we cool? And she was like, yeah, they cool. So then that's when Jerrold said something I can't remember verbatim. And Cheryl, decided to jump in. So that's when Ty was like, but now you see how I felt when it was when it was Jaylen being attacked. This is why I jumped in for Jaylen. And she was like, but I'm just trying to get you to understand, sis. And she said it very nice, very calmly, like real calm. Because you can tell Ty's not a confrontational person. Like, because all she do is cry. You can tell she try to avoid stuff because she going to cry her eyes out. And that's exactly what she do. And she have not felt us yet when it comes to crying.
When I say she is a cry baby.
She is. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But that is definitely her thing. Crying. So Cheryl going to say, don't call me sis.
Even what's name was like, don't call you sis.
What? Who are you? Like, Ty was a person to bring you in, Cheryl. Like, she never disrespected you, never tried you, and all of a sudden you got all this animosity towards her.
Just some super.
Which is so random, because you
person.
can't say like you felt some type of way about your event. Yes, she had to talk with your boyfriend or her friend. We didn't even say your boyfriend, her friend, because that's her friend at the end of the day.
Before it was your boyfriend, that was her friend.
Well, we don't know that. No, because they've been together for almost 8 years since they was in high school. Ty and him been friends since high school, so it's about the same time
she said something about 10 years on one of these episodes.
No. She said about a 10-year mark. She was thinking about getting married, but no, they've been together for 8 years.
Okay.
And so they've been friends all around the main time, but she was never around Cheryl like that. So she was trying to bring you in, Cheryl. Y'all never had no animosity. Y'all barely have any animosity now. You cannot say that it was the actual photo shoot that make you feel some type of way, because Ty did not disrespect your event. All she did was step to the side on her own merit in a fucking corner. And
she was a part of it, so
in a corner to have a conversation with her friend Jerrold, and now all of a sudden you feel some type of way because she's holding your boyfriend accountable like you should. At the end of the day, like, even if you feel like Jerrold had no parts in it, Jerrold as a moderator, as a host, could have controlled the environment, and he didn't, and that showed how weak he was. But if you want to take up for a weak man, go ahead, sis, go off. But moving on,
she did. All right, so half the group went outside to talk about it,
right?
And then Cheryl, Tylynn, and her boyfriend stayed to talk about it.
To be clear, I don't think Ty deserves an apology because Ty wasn't there. This had nothing to do with it. But Jaylen deserves an apology to Jerrold for making that man. If he felt uncomfortable, how Ty say he was uncomfortable,
and he said that though. He said that in that meeting.
Oh, he said it.
He said I felt like you should have stuck up for me. Which I'm like, me personally, I ain't looking for no dude to stick up for me.
But that's not the point.
But
even though you're not looking for it, it should still happen. And that's the point. I think sometimes y'all feel like, because y'all so manly and y'all so masculine,
I ain't do it. Like, I'm gonna speak my piece on the situation. Like, you gonna speak your piece. Whether you say something or not, that's on you. And that's it. That's on you. And like, we can, like, if there's gonna be a problem with that, we can speak on that later. But in the moment, I'm gonna pop my shit too. The missing aspect of this is Jerrold not saying nothing at all.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. If he had enough, I don't know the word, like enough in him to like really tell him to chill out, shut up, cut everything off, don't talk until I could get y'all two on one accord and we can't finish and continue, then he needs to apologize because he wasn't able to do that. So, and that's just how I feel. I think he needs to apologize to Jaylen because he felt alone. Like, I'm in a room full of everybody that been friends for years. I'm new to this. Like, I'm trying to get to know y'all. And nobody, just not so much, needed to defend me or had to, but nobody did.
So I gotta speak
you didn't even have to defend me. All you had to say was, let him say his piece and you can say your piece. That's literally all had to happen. Yeah.
We get everybody outside.
Everybody end up outside.
Ways. The person who blew me the most in these last couple minutes of the episode is Bree.
Always.
Because, all right, while this conversation inside is going on, Patiri walks up, because he wasn't with them for some reason. He walks up and was like, hey, are you okay? Type shit. Superman, hey, are you okay?
Only because Bree is loud and raw. Her and Jordan, the only two loud and raw outside.
The two most irrelevant people in this conversation.
What Jordan is kind of is, it's still from him, but it's not about. At this moment, it's not about him.
So them two just talking. They just talking to be heard.
Everybody's talking, but they the two loudest going at it.
So we get Patiri walking up. He's like, okay. Yeah, let's come on. I want to hear what's wrong with you. Like, how do you feel about the situation? Immediately, she's just like, oh my God, oh my God. Like, girl, are you doing too much?
Yeah, Bree she was so happy that Patiri put her away out of the situation.
And at that moment, she left instead of just sitting down.
As if she had any involvement in the situation, and she didn't. She inserted herself in the situation, so he had to make her feel comfortable, and he did, which I can respect as as her guest or as the boy she's talking to at the moment. But she just be so.
He went in so many cool points. It's crazy.
He got them from her. He got millions of them from her because she easily. What's my favorite word? She easily
pleased. Impressed.
But you tried.
But yeah.
But after that, everybody come outside and everybody leave and go their separate ways, and everybody feel like the group is now separated. But honestly, the group been separated. Y'all just didn't notice it. I guess I did as a viewer, but now it's really separated to the point that y'all even know it's separated. So it's like the boys with the boys, the girls with the girls. The only girl that's not with the girls is Cheryl, who claims she always with all the boys. So
and Tylynn not with the boys.
Yeah, I said the girls with the girls, the boys with the boys. The only girl that's not is Cheryl, and she with the boys. But other than that, the group separated.
I think we have to be specific on what boys we're speaking on, cause
all the boys: Jordan, Jerrold, PJ, and Kofi. Even though some of them, Kofi,
we're not. Jaylenn and Rob.
Rob. Of course, they're not main characters, and also like Kofi not either. But also they the boyfriend, the boyfriends of Amanda and Ty. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed our review. I know it was a long one, but this is the ending of season 1, Sweet Life LA, Los Angeles. So if you guys have anything to say, comment down below your thoughts. Like this video. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queen, baby. Bye.